Hello there, Noelle with the Lisle Library District here, and today we are going to be looking at how we can make mason jar lid pies. Pies have been big in the cookbook scene lately. There have been a lot of cookbooks that have come out about the amazing pies you can make. A few of the new ones that you can find on the shelf at Lisle Library include Pie Academy, Pieometry, and the book on pie. So there are a lot of options, and that's just a few of them. In order to make these mini pies with mason jar lids, you're going to need a few things, but a lot of it is pretty easy to come by. So you are going to need a baking sheet with parchment paper. You are going to need some mason jar lids, including the ring and the lid that goes inside of that. You are going to need cooking spray, a knife and fork. You may or may not need these. Pie crust. You can make your own pie crust if you are so inclined, or you can buy pie crust already made and use that. You will need pie filling, and you will also need milk and sugar. These are optional, but highly recommended. The first thing you'll need to do to make these is to preheat your oven to 375 degrees. I have already done that, so ta-da. The next thing is you're going to get your lids ready. So we're actually going to take our lids, and you're going to take this part that has the rubber side on it, and you actually want to go ahead and flip that so that the rubber side is facing down in your lid, so that the rubber side is facing down on your tray. I'm going to do that. I have two to show you, so I'm going to put that face down. The next thing is we're going to spray those lightly with cooking spray. And now we are going to take our dough and fit it into the bottom. I already cut my dough. So what you do with your dough is when it's ready, you roll it out thin. And if you buy it from the store, you don't need to roll it out. It's already pre-rolled. You want to cut it a little bigger than your lid. Mine are not perfect circles, but a little bigger than your lid. And you're going to take this and just press that into the lid with your fingers. And you're going to press it up along the edges and down into the bottom. I'm going to do that with both of these. And you'll see when I'm done, I just have a nice little pie crust there in my lid. It may overhang the edges a little bit. That's perfectly fine. The next step is I am going to fill this with pie filling. I'm just using a canned pie filling, cherry, just my preference. You're free to make your own if you want, or get whatever filling sounds good to you. So I'm just going to scoop some of this into my little mini pies. Make sure I fill them enough, but that they're not overflowing, so I can't put a crust on top. So I'm going to fill both of these. This one may be a bit too much, but we'll let it slide. All right. The next thing we do is we put a top crust on both of these. So when you cut your pie crust, you want to make sure that you do 2 for each lid you have. So you have a bottom crust and a top crust. If you want to get fancy, you can always do a lattice crust or something interesting like that. But we're just going to do a plain old top crust today. So I have my crust that's cut out again a little larger than my lid, and I am just going to put this over the top. 2 of them. And I have cut these a little large, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to press these gently on top here. This one has a little too much filling in it. It's okay. And I'm going to cut the excess off with just a paring knife that I have. And I can cut this right around the very edges of the lid. Next thing, we're going to crimp the edges of our pie crust. You can do that however you want. A really easy way is to just use a fork and to press down into your little pie. And you can do that all around. You'll press your fork into there and it'll make some little indentations as you go around, and that will secure your pie. You'll also want to go ahead and cut a few slits in the top of your pie to allow air to escape while it bakes. And then finally, you will want to brush some milk on top of these. That helps them get the nice brown color when they bake. And then you can sprinkle on some sugar. So I am going to just brush some milk on top of these. And I have sugar in here. I'm just going to sprinkle that on top. All right, I am done assembling the pies. The next step is to put these into the oven. So I am going to put these into the oven. Again, that's set at 375 degrees. We're going to put these in there for about 25 to 30 minutes. The tops should be brown. The filling should be bubbly, and that's when you know they're done. When you take them out, you do want to let them cool first. And then you can pop them out by pushing the lid up, and the pie will pop out of the lid. All right, welcome back. Our pies were in the oven, and now they are out and they have cooled, and I have popped these out of the lids. You just do that by pushing the bottom part of the lid up, and then the pie just kind of pops out, and then you're left with these cute little kind of handheld mini pies. So I hope you enjoyed, and thank you for checking us out. Bye-bye.